Shandon Varshney is an entrepreneur and former Amazon leader with over 17 years of experience in product management and supply chain innovation. He co-founded Only Hydroponics to drive sustainable, soil-free farming in India. A mentor to startups and an advocate for clean food systems, he blends business expertise with a strong commitment to environmental impact.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Good to be sharing the experience. And it was really inspiring to listen to Sunil sir about what all work has been done in the water and what is the situation of potable water that we see. And we are already seeing water crisis in many of the densely populated cities across world, not just India, but across world. Right. So I'm here to talk about one specific field, which is the largest consumer of drinking water today, which is agriculture. And that's what the focus is. And in this presentation, we will also talk about what agriculture is doing currently and how we can prevent, and not just water conservation, but also about water pollution, which I think she also touched upon a bit, but we will talk a little bit more detail. And some of the impact that we are making starting from India. Hopefully, we will see this happening across the globe. So we'll start from understanding what is the use of water in agriculture. So one is approximately 70% of drinking water is used by agriculture today. So we humans are not directly the largest consumer. We are indirectly the largest consumer of drinking water. And it is essential because like us, plants also need water to draw nutrient and also to survive. However, this overusage of irrigated agriculture has dried up a lot of natural rivers, has led to water table droppage, has also led to some of the dams which we just heard, right? One of the major use of dams in India is to provide water for agriculture, for instance. Now, in long term, those farmers who are drawing that water is also this crisis is a threat for themselves because eventually those water tables are dropping, the water availability is getting lower and lower, and in general, the irrigated agricultural lands are getting converted into early stage desert sort of situation. So, strained water resources are then impacting farmer incomes and overall community livelihood. Today, we are demanding all types of products to be grown in all the seasons, and that most often leads to demand increase because we are not just growing the natural products for that environment. We are sort of deploying, for example, paddy or rice is a very high demand, water demanding crop. But as the consumption of rice increases, even countries and places in India and otherwise, which do not have enough water, are forced to grow rice because that's what is the demand and that's what is fetching the higher price. Also, excessive irrigation is leading to a overall soil degradation. There is a challenge in the overall soil availability or fertile soil availability worldwide, which is what is a bigger concern now as we move forward. What we need to do here is the focus is to bring out sustainable agriculture. Agriculture is something which we all need. We need food. We need fodder for our animals. We need to innovate on sustainable agriculture technologies, reduce the overall environmental impact, both in terms of water usage as well as in terms of water pollution or chemical usage. How can we do this? One of the way that we have pioneered is hydroponics farming, where we can deploy one of our hydroponic systems to drive water conservation. Also, we can deliver nutrients to water much more efficiently than traditional farming. We conserve water at the same time, we maintain the integrity of land, prevent any more soil degradation, and do not allow chemical or fertilizers to seep into larger uh, water bodies through the seeping in land. Uh, all the water that we use is recycled within the whole system. It's a closed loop system. We do not use any open loop system, which means any water that is going into the plants is also coming back and we're doing a cycle. In that way, any fertilizers or chemicals that are being used for plants do not seep into the larger water body or do not enter into some. So focus a little bit more about hydroponics, how we have done this. Hydroponic basically means soilless or water driven. It's 100% soilless technology. We're using three technologies within this. We're using nutrient film technology, which is a piping system. Generally, we see that. We also use a grow bag technology where we use any inert material like clay balls or lava rocks to support the roots, but then give them water through drip. Or we use DWC, which is deep water culture, which is essentially a pond, a water pond, and plants are floating on top of the water. And we can also grow fishes in that. All of these techniques use significantly less water than traditional farming. As I said, it's a 100% closed loop system. We use approximately 90% less water than traditional farming, and we will get to some of the impact what we have driven in India in next slides. But on an average, we use 90% less water than traditional farming, and we circulate every drop of water. As I said earlier, we don't allow any of the chemicals, including fertilizers, to enter into water supply. So whatever we are using remains within the closed loop and doesn't enter into rivers or underground water tables. Along with this, so these are all the conservation side of things. But then, what is the advantage of farmers, and why should everyone adopt to these technologies? Along with all the good things about water conservation, which is long term, in near term for farmer, this technology provides much faster plant growth. We are able to grow plants as fast as twice the speed than traditional soil farming. It's a very dense farming technology. We can grow uh, 1 acre of production. We can get 1 acre of production within 1/4 of the area. So we can set up these farms near urban areas, which then again gives a very positive carbon footprint because food doesn't have to travel long distances because of that. Along with this technology allows us for a year-round cultivation. So it gets away from the traditional farming mindset that there are 2 or 3 seasons and we can grow only these things in this season. Gives flexibility to farmer to grow anything in any season. At the same time, uh, we can precisely control the nutrients or control the diseases in plants by this methodology. So this doesn't use any ambush way of providing fertilizer or pesticides. We can very specifically control the nutrients. Continuing on this, we already talked about 90% water conservation. It also avoids any soil-borne diseases because there is no soil, and today almost 40 to 45% of diseases in plants are germinating from soil, including all types of fungal infections in soil. So, in essence, it also avoids any infection coming to the crop, saves farmers losses, and also avoids usage of any chemical pesticides. From the water protection perspective, all of this farming in hydroponics we are doing in protected environment, which means it is done in either under a roof or by building a commercial greenhouse. And hence, one, we have gotten rid of soil, so any soil driven infection doesn't seep into crops. And once you give a physical barrier like a greenhouse, almost avoids any sort of pest infestation from outside, including butterfly larvae or mosquitoes or flies, any of those things. So, in essence, the whole technology allows us to prevent any disease or any infection before even coming to the crop, and hence the chemical usage or the pesticides usage are as close to zero in this technology. Closed loop water system doesn't allow any water to be leaked, evaporated, or enter into water bodies. It also safeguards all the aquatic ecosystems. One of the big problems that we saw in populated cities like Delhi in India, that heavy fertilizers which were seeping in from the agricultural land, one of the biggest rivers of India called Yamuna was so polluted because of that. And also the weeds like hyacinth has taken over the complete river, and at one point of time, it has, even now, some part of Yamuna is 100% fish free, which means all the fishes have died because hyacinth has extracted all the oxygen out of it. So we are avoiding the situation to happen in the largest ecosystem. And by the way, Yamuna is in process of getting cleaned again. But we are avoiding, hydroponics avoids that fertilizer leakage into water bodies, which leads to heavy hyacinth or any weed going out of control. What impact have we done in India? We introduce over last 4 years, we have introduced many methods in terms of what we just talked about. We use three technologies. So depending on the crop, depending on the local conditions, depending on the local weather, we can deploy any of the three technologies that we developed for Indian usage. All of the three technologies have underlying principle same, which is closed loop water, zero chemical pesticides, and protected farming. But we have pioneered all of those technologies for India. We are now working towards building uh, subset of the technology which can then be exported to other countries. We are promoting sustainable agriculture, so protecting soil and protecting water both at the same time. For farmers, we are now focused more on increasing crop yields because that's what attracts them to come to this technology. Uh, we have showcased over last 4 years consistently that the crop yields from all the hydroponics methods of farming is almost 2x of the traditional farming. Now, coming to the water efficient, this is a very important numerical, gives the extent of what we can do. And we are just we're just starting up. We don't even have a percentage to say that we are controlling X% of Indian agriculture. We're just starting up. But as per our latest estimate, just in one crop, cucumber, we have saved more than 130 million liters of water last year. That's the extent of impact that we can drive. And this is just one crop and just one player like us. We want more and more people to come and start saving this. This will go into billions of liters of water savings every year, which is essential in the current setup. We are also empowering local farmers, providing training and resources for their system. So overall, building an ecosystem where we don't want just only hydroponics to do everything. We empower the whole community and want the larger set of farmers group to come and join us in this journey where we are able to grow food which is safe for eating because it doesn't have pesticide. Also, by doing in a methodology which saves our soil and water. What we are building overall is only hydroponics as a model to say that this is what uh, we have showcased. We have been awarded by several governments in India and showing that this can be done. This was something which people didn't believe earlier that it's possible to do. Is it possible to grow without pesticides? Is it possible to save that much of water as we claim? Right, this 130 million liters of water, for instance, was something that we knew from the start. But now that we have proven that it can be done, uh, so we are building this whole model for hydroponics farming in India. We want government as well as larger corporates and farmer groups to come and adopt. At the same time, we are also partnering with retail channels in India, whether it is Amazon or Walmart, which operates as Flipkart in India, and several other players to bring out the benefits of hydroponics, which is very new technology in general for world, and have consumers also be educated about what impact this can drive. And essentially, we want consumer to start asking for those products rather than a normal soil grown or typical soil grown product, because consumer will then know that this is very unsafe. We want everyone to join this movement for hydroponics. Thank you.